Prey, aka Alien Prey. Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to day 19 here on the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host Mood616 and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, day 19 is here and I've got another older flick for y'all. This one's from 1977, directed by Norman Warren, of course, who's known for directing Satan's Slave, who he did a year earlier in 1976. He also did Inseminoid that came out in 1981, and yeah, you know, among films, Bloody New Year, which I've actually never seen that film. He also did Terror, not to be confused with the early 60s film, but he did a film called Terror that's pretty cool that was released by Scorpion also. He's actually, you know, been around for a lot of years, but hasn't really directed a lot of films, which is really strange, but I was always curious about this one. Had it in the collection for a long time, and just that time I needed to watch it. So of course, 1977, and it is called Prey. So yeah, if you're familiar with Norman Warren's work, yeah, you know, you kind of know what to expect from this one a little bit. So, but getting into the plot of this one, basically it is about an alien that comes down from another planet, obviously, and basically takes over a man's body. Now, he takes over this man's body with the intentions of basically spying on humans and getting some information on humans and stuff. So from there on, he befriends a lesbian couple who actually live way out in like this isolated area in the middle of the woods and stuff like that. They have this really kind of odd and awkward lesbian relationship. But anyways, he befriends them out there. They kind of take him in, and he starts basically, you know, living with them, and he just kind of watches them and just kind of, you know, does his thing and stuff like that. And he gets back to, you know, the aliens on planet every once in a while with some updates of what's going on Earth and stuff like that. And yeah, he just continues to live with them. But of course, you know, there is some, you know, different motives that he has and stuff like that. So, but that is basically the premise of the film right there. Now, my thoughts on this one. Now, I love the idea. You know, it's not an original idea, you know, of aliens coming down, invading someone's bodies. You know, we've seen a million films like this. But I like this premise, you know. But the problem is with this film is that it's executed so poorly. It's executed absolutely so poorly because, you know, you get right into it. Alien comes down, takes over a guy's body, moves in with this lesbian couple, and then nothing happens for about 50 or about an hour of the film. Basically, nothing happens. You know, there's some animals that get killed. You know, there's some really awkward scenes with the lesbians because they're living this really strange relationship. And, you know, the girl that owns the house, she's very kind of eccentric and like just odd and peculiar. And then, so you got all that kind of going on with the relationship. And then you got him who, you know, they're trying to figure out the whole time too, which is kind of strange because he's an alien and, you know, he's smart enough to, you know, get back to the, you know, and report on what's going on Earth and stuff like that, but he doesn't know the simplest things on Earth. So you kind of have this very awkward balance of humans and aliens and, you know, what his real motives are and stuff that are going on, because it's very awkwardly directed, I might add. And, you know, there's a scene in the film where they're playing hide and go seek, and he just has no idea what hide and go seek is because he's not from this planet, and it goes on for like 10 minutes. You know, this film only runs about 77 minutes, so you know where I'm basically heading with this. This movie has so much filler in the middle that it kind of takes away from, you know, the objective of what the alien's supposed to accomplish. There's really nothing going on in the whole entire middle of this film. And, you know, with that said, the third act in the film is even, it's executed even more awkward too. There's a really awkward scene between him and one of the girls, and, you know, and then the end happens and stuff, and then you're just like, really? Like, this movie just feels like a complete waste of time to watch. I really didn't take anything away from this one. Like, I thought Norman, his, you know, the directions in the film at times just felt like he didn't know what to do with the story. And it's such a shame because, like I said, it's got this pretty cool premise, but there's nothing happening. You know, it would have been nice to see, you know, the alien in this film, you know, kind of do his own thing and, you know, kind of, you know, have a little suspense with him and stuff, but there's nothing going on. It's more about the girl's relationship and stuff, and it's an awkward and very, very boring film. Way too much filler in this one. I will say there is lesbian sex in this one. There is, a fair amount of boobs, not so much muff or anything, but there's a really long kind of, lesbian sex scene that's pretty decent. It's a little aggressive at times, but it's just not enough to hold your attention. This one, the whole time I'm going, okay, let's reveal the true motives, like what's going on here, what's going on. But really, you already know what's really kind of going on. It's just not executed that excitingly. So with all that said, very, very boring film. I can't recommend this one. This has got to be my least favorite Norman Warren film. It's just, I don't know. I really don't know what he was thinking with the direction of this film, but with that said, I don't want to sit here and just bash it all to hell like I just did. With that said, there is some pretty decent cinematography in the film. I will say I did like the setting. I like those isolated settings and stuff. They just didn't utilize anything to its ability. The music's quiet, or the film's quiet. It doesn't really have a lot of music in it, which is strange. The acting, surprisingly, is pretty good in this film. There's only 3 characters, so that's what you have. You got 3 characters. You got this, like I said, weird relationship, him. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. So it does kind of feel like it is very isolated because there's no one else around. I get all that. Those are decent things, but there's just absolutely no development in the story in this one. Such a shame, because I do like this. I like Norman Warren's films. I like Terror. Satan's Slave is also really fun. I'm not the hugest fan of Vince Seminoid. I feel that film right there also suffers from very similar things as this one. It's just not a lot happening and things like that. But this one really doesn't have anything happening. So unfortunately, I got to give this one like a 3 out of 10. There is some good qualities to it, just not enough to keep anyone's attention. Yeah. So Prey, released by Redemption. So that's going to do it for day 19 here on the 31 Days of Horror. I really wanted to like that film. It's such a shame. So anyways, guys, see you tomorrow on day 20. Don't know what I'm reviewing, of course. Peace out, homies. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to week 40. What the hell? Week 40?